The next thing that I want to talk about is operators. We talked about numbers, right? If we can use numbers, we should be able to do math. Actually, the ability to do math in a computer language is one of the key principles that you would expect from any programming language. If a programming language can't do math, then maybe it's not a programming language. Maybe it's markup or something else. So I have this program here. We saw this earlier. If I run it, you can see that it's going to print out these variables, right? Well, this one variable that I've changed a couple times. I can also do math, right, like I've said before. So I could add things in here. I can divide things. I can do stuff like that. Now this one will be interesting because I'm dividing a whole number by 2, and I've already told it that this spot is only for integers, right? So what happens here? So if I recompile and rerun it, alright, so 9 divided by 2 is 4. It is if you cut off the extra, right? If you like ignore the decimal, then it is, right? So for this, we would need to change this to a float, right? And then change all of these. I'm not going to change the variable name because you get the idea, right? But now if I compile this and I run it again, we see the decimal values there, but we still don't see 4.5, right? So let's try playing with this a little bit more. Okay. There you go. So even though we were saying floats, we divided an integer by an integer, and it just kind of tacked on the zeros at the end. So you need to make sure that even though you've set it a float, that you're actually treating it like a float and you're including that value in there. So addition, subtraction, that's pretty obvious. Multiplication, division is star and the slash. Okay, so you can play with this and you can kind of see what happens. You can try adding and dividing and subtracting all sorts of things and kind of see how does that affect order of operations and all those things. Does it behave the way that you think? Right, so try some of those things out and see what happens. There are some other operators, but we will talk more about them later. Hopefully this just gives you the idea of sort of how these data types work.